So, hi, my name is Shomik Dotto. Me, along with my classmate at IIT Bombay Computer Science Department, Arif Ali, has developed this project titled Web Data Scraper and Visual Analytics from Web to Insights as part of our 699 software lab mini project. So, now I'm going to first show you the demo of that project. Then I will move into its high level architecture and also its implementation in great depth. So let's start with the demo first. So this is the home dashboard of our application. We mainly worked upon player performance data. So the name of this headline of this project is player performance visualizer. So this project mainly has three parts. One is data scraper tool, which can scrape a particular website's data and import it to a backend database. Second part is this dashboard, which can analyze the data from CSV files or from database and can visualize through graphs and plots. And the third plus part is a CSV utility tool with which anyone can upgrade the data into database. So let's see this dashboard first. Uh, some already datas are inserted into the backend database. Now, if I search, there are some with keyword. If I search, let's say Rohit, the players whose names are already there in the database will come. Let's search for Dhoni. So if I select Dhoni and I will say search, see all these data were in CSV files. So we are plotting it as graphs. This is year-on-year performance. These are showing the strike rate, innings, average. Now versus country, with which country, how much this player has played. Every countries, different countries are mentioned, and the graphs are plotted. This is home versus away versus neutral. This graph is a new type of graph. This is plotted. Then innings performance with pie chart, it is plotted. So from CSV dump you can easily visualize the data as graph format. Fine. And here you can download. If we click, then you can get it as a PDF format. Now this the tool is compare with. You can compare one player with another. Let's suppose you want to compare Dhoni with Rahul. So it will show you the comparison side by side. So you can get insights out of the data. That's the primary target. Now, moving to the let's search for Bumrah. Bumrah is not here. Let's search for Rohit Sharma. So Rohit is here. Let's say Virat Kohli. I'm searching it because it has a reason. I will tell you later. Any player, Shami, Bhuvaneshwar Mohammad Shami, let's say bowler. So for in case of bowler, it will show this kind of this wicket type distribution: caught, bowled, LBW. Fine. Versus country, how many wickets he has taken. This one year-on-year performance. This full name. All these things are coming from the backend database. Fine. Same thing. Uh, if I Ravi Chandran Ashwin, every stats will be compared. Bowler. Fine. Now let's go to the third part of our application, that is import. The CSV utility tool. If you click import, I showed you that Virat Kohli is not coming, Bumrah is not coming. That means they are not in our database. Now let's say you you have some data which needs to be added to the database, extra data like new datas you want to add to the database. Here, see, these are the all the dump CSV dump. Here you can see I have clicked it. Here Virat Kohli is there. Fine. I haven't uploaded it yet. I kept it for to show you as a demo. These or these are the CSV files. You have data in this format. Fine. Now you want to update this data. So what you have to do, you have to zip the data. Fine. You zipped, and this will come. Then you go to the import tab, choose the file, player performance. First, what you can do, you can download also. If you download, this thing will come. Here you will get the existing database data. Now here you can add also. Fine. And you create the zip again and want to re-upload with the added data. So choose file, player performance, open and upload. This will take some seconds because the new data will be uploaded into all the connected databases. There are multiple tables. I will tell you later. This is done. Close. Now if I reload, now see Virat Kohli has come. Search the Virat Kohli stats. Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah. Search Bumrah status has come. So this is the thing. You want to see existing data, you want to visualize from the existing data, you directly go to this database and search the player, and you can see the database. You have some updated latest data, you can download the existing data, add to it, then re-upload, then you can again revisualize it. So this is the main purpose of our tool. Now one by one I will show you the code for the scrapper tool. That's is also a useful tool. Anyone can just put some inputs and get the player's data scrapped from website, and then I will one by one show this backend codes and the front end TypeScript codes and how these graphs are getting generated. Before going to the code base, just let me show you the our project's high level design document. So architecturally, our project broadly has three parts. First is the web's scraper tool part. This scraps data from websites and put it into CSV files. Here we have used Python libraries like Beautiful Soup, Pandas, and we wrote it in Jupyter Notebook. The second part is made of Bash script. It takes these CSV terms and imports it into the Postgres DB. The third part is the web application part. This same database data gets fetched by the Spring Boot API. This is a middleware. This fetches the data by its API repositories, handles the data, performs some business logics, and exposes the data as REST APIs. And the front end is made of React.js. This consumes these REST APIs to populate this player performance visualizer dashboard. Now let's see the code base of our application. So this is our project workspace. Let's open terminal on this folder, then open VS Code here so that we can see all the things properly in VS Code. So let's start one by one. CSV. This folder is having all the CSV data which are being scrapped by the crawler codes from the web portal. Fine. Now this folder is only a backup of that same CSV folder, just for backup purpose only. Docs I will come just in a minute. React app, this is having all the code base of the front end React application. This will be discussed thoroughly by Arif only. This is the Spring Boot app. I will come to it in detail. This is the backend application, which is in the middle of the front end and interacting with the database and handling all the data so that it can be responded back to the front end. It's made it's made in Spring Boot. I will come into it in detail. These are the all crawler files, IPYNB files. I will show you in shortly. This is Postgres import shell script. This is used to import the CSV file data after the crawler crawls all the data from web portal to these CSV files. Then this shell script is used to insert those crawled CSV data into the Postgres DB. This Postgres setup.sh file is step by step. All the instructions are there how to set up the Postgres database, and also how to create all the tables and insert drop tables. I will come to it shortly. Now first, one thing, this readme file, just instruction how to run the Spring Boot application and the front end Node.js application. This is the Postman API collection. We can easily import this into our Postman so that we will get all the APIs here, so that we can hit and test it if the APIs are working fine or not. Fine. So this is done. Let's start with docs. This was a primary target dashboard what we tried to build, like targeted to build. Pretty much we are close to it, I say, must say. Anyway, this is the technical document report, rather than here we have mentioned all the components. Let's read through it. So the cricketer performance statistics, Visualiser web application. We are the two team members. Objective: to create a web application that provides some key performance statistics of cricketers. The app will allow user to search for players, compare cricketers' performance metrics. The players' dataset will be acquired through web crawling from web. This is the website. Let me show you the website also. Yeah, this is the site from where I have taken all the data. Okay, Rahul. See, these are all its data. Okay, Rahul's data. All things are there. We have to crawl it because it comes in like pages also, not a single page data only. So other T20 stays, many data are there. So let's go to that document. Now, what are the features we have introduced here? I have already talked through it. Let's again revisit once. That is, search and filter provides an interface that would let user to search and filter cricketers based on their name. This bar I'm talking about. Player profiles analyze individual player profile by visualizing below mentioned player performance metrics. Fine. Like let's suppose Virat Kohli search. So this becomes the player profiles. Player profiles. Comparison tool. User will be able to compare key performance cricketers side by side. This one. This comparison tool. Generate PDF report. This is that download PDF in PDF format. We can download it. Another feature is edit letter. It is this CSV tool. It's not here. Now performance metrics, batsman, all this performance every 5 every batting average, strike rate. So these are here. Bowler, fine. Economy. I have already shown this to you. Next, what is that? This is the important thing. What tools we have used? One by one, let me go through it. Python package pandas. All the crawlers are made like in the crawlers Python script. We have used pandas and beautiful soup, which are Python packages. Bash script I showed you. I have used to import from CSV data to Postgres. Java Spring Boot obviously for the middleware backend application. PostgreSDB where we are storing all the database. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Like here we have used React.js. So for front-end application, D3 data visualization tool. This is used to generate those graphs. These graphs, like this graphs, these graphs are getting generated with the D3. This will be discussed by Arif only. These two components. Git, we are obviously maintaining our Git repos. So everything we are maintaining in Git. So that's why Git. So this is a pretty much overview. Now let's go through the crawlers. Fine. So this is the first component of our application. Like we have to run this first, then everything else will start working. So here we are using pandas. Uh, Beautiful show. Fine. These are to ignore some warnings and SSL certificates when we are connecting to HTTPS endpoints. We need this. Now, one by one, we can see here. This code will be available in Git only. This one by one, create every function is creating one particular CSV file mentioned here. This is the career average batsman. This is the versus country batsman, like this, all the one by one. But the flow comes from here. This is the main method. Here we are mentioning all the player IDs. In that stats guru page, if we go, we can see there for each player there is a corresponding player ID. So this is the player ID of Lokesh Rahul mostly. Let me verify. 22108, right? 2210, 4221008. This. So I'm jotting down the player IDs. Now one by one I'm calling all these Python functions. So each function, what is it doing? It's first setting some, all functions are mostly same, so I am just going through one function here. First it's setting some headers, because without these headers nowadays any website won't allow you to hit their APIs or collect data. Now next, this is the URL of that endpoint, like from where I will get this home versus away data of the particular batsman. So, and these are the column headings from where I need to get the data, and I am doing some sort of data handling, and finally on in this path I am saving the data. This is inside the CSV folder. Same for all others. So these are the files where we are saving all the data's. Fine. Same for bowler also. This is a batsman specific crawler. This is a bowler specific crawler. Same, mostly same things for bowlers also. Country bowler, same URL, headers, all thing, and at the end, all the IDs and calling the methods. This is the common, little bit different. Here we are collecting the images of each players from a little bit different website, and we are creating the overview, player overview CSV. I will just show you the CSV file. This is all the bowler and batsman, all the players IDs here. This player overview, here. This is the thing which is populating this area. Player overview, born, writer, off bowler, something. See, and the picture, photos of the. Fine. This is run CSV common. Now here something was there. Actually some fields are missing, and some headers needs to be renamed. So those little bit data handling things are done here. So this not that much important, but this is the overall uh, code and implementation of crawlers, web crawlers. Fine. This is done. Part one is done. Second is the backend database. Like we are using Postgres database to store all the data. Now this is the setup, Postgres setup, shell script. Install Postgres and all. We have to change a little bit for network purpose. Otherwise, the network will not be accepted from outside IPs. So this listening address needs to be changed. Tweaked. This little bit tweaks needs to be done. Fine. Then we have to create the database itself. So we are creating database with name. I think player was the database name, and this is the username. Fine. Yeah, this is the database name player. Owner is the username, and password is also same in the code. It's there. So these are the tables. Tables 1, table 2. For each CSV file, we are creating a table to store the CSV files data. There are, I think, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 CSV files. So for 9 CSV files, 9 data tables are there in the database. This is the top. This is for future needs. Now the thing is, how can we import after creating the database? How can we import the CSV file into the database? For that, let's say our database is running in a server, different server, and we are running this application in a different server, like this the middleware Spring Boot application or the front end. Front end will JavaScript. So now to make this work, what we have to do, what we need to first ship all the CSV files to that server where the Postgres DB is there. For that, we can use SCP. I have used SCP commands to move these files from one server to another. And next is with PSSQL command, you can enter the database and then run this script, Postgres import.sh. This script. What then this script will do is, this script will take all the CSV files data and import it to that each of the tables with the name mentioned here. This is the command /copy. Fine. So this is the shell script we have used for importing CSV data into database. This part is also done. Now next is one of the most important part is the Spring Boot application. So let's move to the STS. There I can, one thing, let's see the database once. So I have connected the database. So here you can see all the tables are there. Those data you see in that CSV file, same data are here in here also. Fine. So this is the player database in this endpoint. Okay, done. Now let's go to STS to see the Spring Boot application. Same Spring Boot application folder is opened here only. This STS is used for developing Spring Boot application. Now here one by one, let me go through each classes. This is the main class. So basically this is the main class of Java. We all know, public static void main. This web configuration is used to handle the CORS mapping. Otherwise, from when we try to hit from any other origin, the CORS error will come. Fine. Next, controller, entity, repo, service. Let me go bottom to top. So for each table, one corresponding Pojo class is there, which is mapped to that table schema. Fine. All the same fields which are there in the table with the carrier average batsman, carrier average batsman, PID span, ins, runs, HS average, same things are here. Fine. Same for all the entity classes. Let me close all. For each of the these entities, we have made a separate JPA repository to communicate with that table. Okay, so for each career average batsman, home versus average bowler. Here in the JPA repository, this is the on which table this repository work. This is mentioned here, and this is the primary key integer. And these are the methods. This is my native query. With this, I want to delete. So this is the native query here. Similar for. Let me close. So repo is also done. Now service. Service, there are batsman service to handle batsman specific queries, bowler service to handle bowler specific, overview service to handle that overview I just showed, that overview player overview specific queries. These two files are handled uh, will handle the CSV utility. I will come to it just few seconds later. So batsman service, all the methods are there. It's calling the repo. So pretty much straightforward. I have actually made it straightforward so that it can be easy to understand. This is the bowler service. Same thing. Just calling all the repo and getting data from repo. Find all. Calling the repo. This is the same repo I showed you just now. Fine. Overview service is mostly also same, but not that much anything important. CSV download and CSV upload. So CSV download and CSV upload, this is little some CSV zip related thing, zip from, because we are uploading a zip file from there. In that zip file there will be 9 CSV files, so one by one first we have to unzip, then one by one we have to get the data from the 9 CSV files. So this thing is happening here, downloading the CSV files. One thing is, like, this is the download the CSV file. So from database we will get all the tables data. We will collect it into CSV files, 9 CSV files, make it a zip, and then let the user download it. So those specific methods are there. For every table there are separate methods: get player overview, CSV, career average, batsman. All these are batsman specific. Then it's bowler specific. Now, so we are using string writers here, CSV printers, to print all the first headers of column headers, then the data we are getting uh, iterating through the database. Same thing for all mostly. And finally, after getting all this, we are zipping it and downloading it. Fine. So this is the download, and upload will be like just opposite. We will get the things, unzip it, and iterate through it and upload to database, save to database. Fine. So this is done, and I have showed you the backend. Now just go to the controller. One is batsman controller, one is bowler controller, one is CSV controller, and other is overview controller. So batsman physics query comes here slash batsman, then goes to it. If it needs to query the career average table, it goes to here, career average by PID, particular ID, one's player's ID, career average. If it needs for only one player, then this PID will come here, and for one ID specific data will be written. Same home versus away and PID one specific player data. All these controllers, and this internally calls the service. The service internally calls the repo. Fine. This is the repo I showed you. Fine. Straightforward. I have made it straightforward so that it can be understood easily. So same bowler controller is there. Same thing. CSV controller is there. One is download method, another is upload method. Fine. In download method, it gets it's a get method and returns with a application zip file, produces it, returns a zip file. In the upload method, it gets a multi-part zip file and uploads it to the database. So it's also done. I think we are pretty much done. Overview controller is same, not anything special. Finally, application.properties here. Here we have mentioned all the database connection strings and dialect and all. Fine. Very simple stuffs done here. Nothing here to explain more. Let me Acha, let me just show you. Let me stop it, then start it again. So from postman, let me hit it. Overview all. This is the overview for all player. We are getting the overview. Where is it getting called? In the dashboard itself. If I now open this, you can see this, like this, for let's suppose this endpoint. When I am reloading, this endpoint is getting called. So overview all, preview, response. See, same data is getting here, so that we are seeing this data from here. And then again, if we proceed, then player specific data we are getting. Yep, done. Yeah, that's also done. And so fine, this is pretty much all from my side, the backend side. Now the front end part will be described by Arif in his own system. Thanks.
Hello, I am Arif Ali, and as Soumik has already gone over the demo of the application and the backend, I shall be going over the front end. So let's go to a project directory. So all of the front end code lies inside this React app folder. So under this we have first the node packages, and public is currently empty. Under source we have some pictures under assets, and under components we have all the different components of the application. We shall come to this, but before, let's see the packages that we have used. So we have used Font Awesome for some icons and Bootstrap for CSS styling. We have used D3 for the data visualization part, that is the charts that are shown on the application. So D3 is an open source JavaScript library for data visualization. So as you shall soon see that it is very verbose, that even writing a little bar chart or pie chart also requires substantial amount of code. And for file saver is this that exporting a player profile as a PDF, we have used file saver. And obviously npm and I is for install, and obviously React and React router and React router DOM is for the handling of the different routes. So this is the base HTML of the application. So we are inserting the application inside this div dynamically using this TypeScript file, this main.tsx. So let's see the main.tsx. So this is what it is doing. It is getting the element root from that in HTML, and it is loading the app on that div. So the app is coming from this app.tsx. So this file is actually the roots of the application. So this root path is what is shown currently on the, when you open the page, that is this one. This is the root path, and under this root path we are showing this search page, and player path is showing the player profile. This is actually dynamically created by this function. So because we don't know the actual player names that are in the backend, so we have to create the root dynamically and navigate to it. And obviously comparing different players, that is the compare players component. So let's go to the search page first, because this search page actually takes this function as input. So this is given a callback function, this one. So if user inputs player name, this callback function is called. We shall see it. So under this landing page we are having the search page. So as you have seen, that search page contains this import button, which triggers this upload CSV model, and also the search bar. So this is the search page component. Inside the search bar we have a lot of logic. So first is, let's see the component presentation. So it contains a form which contains a like search button and player feedback to enter a player valid name, and this part is for providing the suggestions as we type. So if we type Virat Kohli, so this suggestion list that is coming is generated by this part. So in the form, when any input is changed, so this function is called. This function does this, that when we type a name, so it gets all the suggestions and filters it accordingly, provides the suggestions. And when a suggestion is clicked, we set it as the context of the player, that is the current player that is selected, and we on submit we just do some validations, and if all is correct, we just set the in the context, that is the current state of the app, we set the player name, and we just call the callback function that is received by this component from the parent component. This set search is the search prop that is received from the parent component, that is app. So if you go back, so this function, and this function does what? It creates the URL path and navigates to it. So this player path it navigates to. So let's see the player profile that is on this path. So this player profile does a lot of heavy lifting. That let's see the presentation first. So the top is the header one. Let's show one player. So this is the header part where the Virat Kohli name is coming in the blue background, and this next is the player profile image part. So actually profile image contains this image and also this overview thing, and these two buttons are also included in that. And next part is the charts that are shown. So depending on the player's role, we show the batsman charts or the bowler charts. For all-rounders, we show both. So this part, this 2x2 grid part is shown by the batsman chart for Virat Kohli. So we shall see the batsman charts component. So this is just creating a 2x2 grid of cards, and under each inside each card body we are having a plot, that is these plots are actually created by D3. We shall see one of them, and others are also similarly made. So these are under this chart variant component. So let's see year on year plot, bar plot. So this is the plot. We can see in the right pane that it is actually very long, but the actual plot is very simple, 2 bar plots and a line, but the code is very verbose. That is actually how the D3 library works. So in the top we just make a lot of variables for that we have used, the global variables, line color, the bar 1 color and the bar 2 colors, and the height, width, margin. Next we have to create the SVG. Actually all these graphs are actually an SVG element. If we inspect the page, we shall see this is an SVG element, and we have to create all the SVG and its parent its child components manually by the D3 library. So we are setting the X scale and setting the Y scale, and also we have made a function to generate the line that we will call later to generate that orange line. And also here we are defining the grids, and initially we'll clear all the SVG content and start from scratch. So here we are appending a top level group element to the SVG and adding the translate margin left, margin top. Also similarly the y-axis, x-axis grids are added, and next we just add the first set of bars. So here we select all this bar 1 is defined up, and the data is passed through the prop. This data part is passed to this by its parent component, and we just append some rectangles as a bar, and we set up the width, height and fill, and the animation, there is some animation on it, so we set up this duration and mouse over events, because if we hover over this we show the actual counts, so those things are also set up manually. Yes, mouse over and mouse out, those both things. And similarly for the second set of bars, the similar setup is done, mouse over, mouse out, and all the animation and height width functions. And then we add the orange line, that is this, through this we are appending a path to the SVG element, and the data is the same, and fill, stroke width we are doing, and we are adding this, we are calling this generated scale line function that is defined above, and we are just setting up the line by this. And also the animation of the line is done through this part, stroke, dash, offset, delay, duration. And also we are adding the scatter plots, scatter points on the chart, these circles that are on the this line. So for that, this setup is for this. So we are doing adding some circles to the data, and we are setting the radius and the fill, color, and also it has also a mouse over and mouse out functions for those hover effect. And finally we are just adding the legends, that is at the top at the shown. So this strike rate, innings and average, this legends part is added in this thing, so that all are rectangles, and we are adding this text strike rate, and for the next rectangle we are adding innings, and similarly average, that all things. And just we are making the reference to the SVG and plotting that through. Actually this SVG is referred here at the top. There is empty in the beginning, but when the use effect hook is called, when the component is loaded, so we take that reference of the SVG and load all those plot that is set up by the TypeScript code through to this SVG element. So yeah, same thing is done for also the versus country plot and the radar chart plots. All those same kind of setup is done. We have seen the compare players function also, so that part is handled by this component, compare players. And same this types contain the types that are used by a lot of components, so these are exported from here. It is arranged in one single place. This API is important. This API contains the API endpoints and the base API and all the API URL endpoints, and also we have some global functions that other components can use to fetch from the API. So yes, that was all from the front end part, and thank you.